Hello, welcome to HFM Barbers. My name's Ethan Pyson. Today we're going to be doing another haircut tutorial, and it's going to be one of our requests from YouTube, Shaarawy inspired. Now I've got a customer here today who's willing to have this haircut. He hasn't quite got the length on the back, so we're going to see what we can do and work with it, and hopefully create the best that we can. Okay, so I've got my client seated, and now we're going to start the haircut. Okay, so this client has had the blunt put in before, so it's pretty easy to get that line again. You just walk the hair down and just push the long hair over across, and you'll see that you have that blunt line going through to the front already in. If you haven't had the line put in and it's a fresh haircut, if you're going for the blunt hind type, you want to be taking it from where the receding line is, and then a nice straight line all the way back. But for the Shaarawy inspired haircut, he has it coming right through to the front. So as you go and follow that line from the receding line, you then got to curve it round. So then it comes round to the middle, and then it kind of stops at the middle of his head, the middle of his forehead, like that. So you've got it shaved round, and then you have it stopped just on the middle of the head, so it looks kind of symmetrical. Okay, so we're brushing that over. You just start from the bottom. Okay, and just to get to the line, use your comb to brush. Make sure that area here is tight to the head, and you bring the plastic bit of the wand to that line, and then slowly bring it back. And as you get to the crown area, okay, you need to kind of dip down a little bit if you were going to do the hind type. But for this one, we're actually bringing it round into the kind of like side mohawk effect look, down to here. So we'll just stop that there for now, and we'll get this front bit done. We're still following that line, making sure that area there is tight to the head. And that number one is following the blunt line that's already been put in. Okay, so we've got that bit done from the front, and we've got the line put in nice and straight on the side. Now it comes a bit different, okay? So we're now going to take that blunt line and take it all the way to this back corner here. Okay, so I've wet the hair down nice. That's vital because you need to get really neat partings in this. So you've got that line here, and you need to just put your comb on that line and then put it at an angle so it's like that, and then that's where you need to follow that comb round, comb it one way and then comb it the other way. So you've got that neat line going across, so you can get the idea of how it's going to look. Now once you've got the idea of where the angle is going to be, that's when you need to neaten up even more and just take away bits which you know are not going to be used, are going to be shaved off, just so you take your time, make sure you get it perfect. You take off bits that you know is coming off, because you've got that kind of line there, a rough idea of what angle it's going to go at, so you know what you can get away with. Okay. Can you get time to put the head down for me? I'm really pushing this line now. The shading takes two seconds to do. The line, if it's not right the first time, that's it, there's no going back. So you're better off taking more time getting your line right than anything else. It's slightly a bit more difficult with this hair because it's not quite at the length it needs to be. But if you're struggling like that, then your best bet to do is you've got one bit of angle there, right? So then you take that away, right? And then just work down as you go. Okay, so I've got that slight angle, I've come to the back of the head, I'm looking, it's still looking nice, like it's going down into that side mohawk. Don't really need your, because you've got that line, don't really need your comb, just make sure that line's nice and tight and flat, and then just come in and taking that area away. Okay, so you've done that area there. So now you go to the next section, work your way down. And as it gets lower, it's actually getting shorter, so it's proving to be more difficult. So it just means you might have to just do it little sections at a time. So that will do. Make sure that is still going on that angle, and take that away as well. We'll make it neater as we get a good idea of what it's going to look like. Come to the next bit. So you push it all over with your hand, make sure the client's head's down, and then bring your comb and get that neat line in again. Okay, so then you just do this area here, and then work down to this area and work down. So just do it in little sections because the hair's quite short at the back here, so it's proving to be quite difficult. So it's not a problem, you just take it, smaller sections, just do it bit by bit, make sure you get it right, that's the main thing. Okay, so I've followed that through to that bottom corner. Alright, now we need to put the one on this side. Right, curving round, not going too high with it. And just curving it round so it actually comes in to that area here. So it's not quite going like that, it's actually coming round, and then it will all blend in with the line that you're going to be, neat line you'll put here. Okay, so all this will all be sticking out here, you see. And then it will all come in like that, alright? Okay, so now I'm going to be neating up round the ears and neating up this blunt line, putting the tram line in. Okay, so first of all, just start off with this area here, just taking away a little bit, don't go in too much because when it grows back, it doesn't grow back very well. So just come in a little bit, just to neaten up, just give it a bit of shape around these edges here. And we're following around the ear, pulling the ear back, using these fingers coming through to rest the blades on because that's giving you a good balance, and then just curving round. Using your finger and thumb to like twist it round and using this as your balancing rod. Moving the head this way a bit so you can see. Right, that's your angle there. Okay, so you're following that angle down. See this now? You've got to be careful with these sometimes because you'll come in too much Some people will like automatically, because the hair grows that way, they'll automatically come in too much, and then it will leave this area really high at the back. Okay, so as long as you keep following that angle, at this moment of the haircut, just keep following that angle. Right, take away any excess that's not needed. Okay, so you've got around the ear, nice curvature around there, nice angle at the back, and it's the same on the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to be putting a tram line from the front all the way around the back to that bottom corner. Now really take your time on this, because if it goes wrong, that's it, haircut over. So make sure you take your time on it and get it right. You don't want it too thick, you don't want it too thin, you just got to get it right. So all I like to do is I'll start in the straightest part of the line, which is going to be this area here. Alright, if you can get this correct, then these bits will follow nicely into it, alright? And I'm following it round the back, just like that, going round the back, okay? And now I've actually put the tram line in all the way through to the back. Now I come back to this side, and you know I said we have that angle that you would normally take on, say, like a back and sides, or, you know, just a structured haircut. Now, what we're going to do now is we're just going to slightly change this angle. Right, now we've got this all neatened up nicely. That's the angle we want to follow for this area here now, so it all looks, as you can see, in one movement, one angle all the way to this area here. Now, some people do it, some people don't. It's just personal preference on how people like the final look. It's alright to leave it like that, but I like to follow that angle the same as this angle here, because I just think it all comes into a nice haircut. Although if it's someone that comes in once a week to get it trimmed up, that's fine. But if it's a client that comes in, say, once a month, every 6 weeks, you don't want to be taking that angle there. You want to advise them not to, simply because obviously you're taking away the natural hairline. I mean, the hairline you're taking that angle on is a normal hairline, but if you take that right in to the same angle as that, it's just going to grow back all funny. So if it's someone that comes in quite often, you can get away with it, you know, if it's a photo shoot or something like that. But for a normal day-to-day haircut, I would stay at this angle, okay? So as you can see, I've come right in on this angle, and if you look at the back now, it all comes in to like this point here. So it gives the whole, when it's finished, it will give the whole look a real nice angled look. It's brilliant. But like I say, it's got to be maintained, and I'll be cutthroating this area out to get it as close as I can. But it's only advisable on people that come in weekly. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking the length off the top and texturizing it. What we want from it is really coming into like a pointed area, quite long on top, blended in quite high on the right side, so it gives this like a mohawk look. Obviously he hasn't really got the length on the back just as yet, but we're going to try our hardest to make the best of it, okay? Today, I had a question on YouTube the other day. The scissors I use are Joel's new Cobalt 5.5, sorry. They're really good scissors. They're not really, I mean, it depends what you think is expensive. These are around about £300. But they're brilliant. You don't want to, with barbering scissors, you don't really want to overcommit and buy in something stupid, a £600 scissors, because you're doing 30, 40 haircuts, well, whatever you do in a barbershop, people are different, but you're doing at least 20 haircuts a day. For hairdressers, you're doing what, 4 or 5 a day? So you can see how quick they will wear out, so there's generally no point in buying mega expensive, but these have lasted me 2 years now and I haven't sharpened them yet and they're still going strong, okay? So, going to the top of the head, normally you'd be taking it up straight like that, but on this haircut we're just going to slightly angle it because we want these shorter layers here and we want the long bits here, alright, because we're going into that mohawk area, okay? So we'll bring it slightly to the left, taking away all this here, and then following the guideline that you've set on that first one all the way back. So now as you brush that over, you've got these shorter layers here and the long layers right high at the top. And if anyone knows El Shaarawy, his is very long on this middle area here. So that's what we're going to try and create. Okay, so I finished doing the length. Now I'm going to be texturizing and thinning out at the same time. So slightly, same again on that angle. Alright, because we want to keep as much length as we can through that middle section there. So bringing it through that area there. And then coming to the other side, and doing the same that side. You can see all these layers popping up now, and that's what we want, because that's what gives it a real nice look when you put your product in it. Okay, so now we're going to be blending out this area here. Now, putting a slight part in there just to keep that length as I'm blending out. Although we want to blend this area out, we still want long layers in here. Normally, if you will brush that down there, you're bringing these long layers into the blending area. So then sometimes you'll blend that out and you'll shorten up these areas when you brush it up. There's nothing there. You really want to keep this length through the top. So we're just going to, for this one here, we're just going to slightly section it. Alright? It will look horrible when it's not styled. These are the things with these customised haircuts. If you're not, they're built and made to look good when they're styled. They're not made to look good when they're not styled, so this is what people have got to take into consideration. If you're styling it all the time, you can pull off these haircuts. If you don't, then you're not always going to pull it off. So maybe sometimes you might have to tame down haircuts, so it fits your lifestyle. Okay, but for this one, I'm putting in that part in. I'll be blending out this area here. So on this area, we've got the number 1 in. We're coming in on that 1. If you can lift up, but we're not coming into the head. Alright, so you come in and you just lift up. Because if you look from the side, you notice the head naturally curves in that way. So if you just go straight up, it's already giving you a head start. If you keep this bottom area here of the comb touching the head, but lifting up and out, then you're always going to get that perfect blend. Alright, if you start coming in, you're just going to create more lines for yourself. If you're tipping away at this and your comb's out here, it's just all a bit awkward. For the number 1, it's so easy to blend out because you're taking the comb straight to the scalp anyway, because the thickness of that comb is about number 1 anyway. Alright, so it's pretty easy to do. Straight up, taking away anything that's hanging over, and then just chip away anything else that needs to come away. Okay, so we're just applying some shaving cream along that edge we put in. And then the other side, just get rid of all that. Okay, so let's cut through it in the back out. Okay, so I've blow dried it out. Now I'm going to be using an American crew to style it. It really does complement all my cuts I do. Today is going to be the forming cream. So I go right the way through my hands and I'm putting it straight in, getting it really nice and messy. Really going to work. And then just fiddling around and getting the right style for it. Okay, thank you very much for watching the haircut tutorial. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us. We also have a website now, hfmbarbers.com. If you'd like to go and visit that, that would be brilliant. Thank you very much for watching.